friends and family and everybody else who comes to my channel, and I do regard everybody who comes to my channel as friends because you show interest in what I am doing. Here we are again in the kitchen of my new house, and I'm going to show you a few things. Here is again my a bit battered slow cooker. I'll talk about it one of these days when I make a recipe with slow cooker. The oven, the microwave. I have got to confess that I never use a microwave because I think they are not good for the health at all. So what do I then do with a microwave? Wait and you'll see. I keep some of my baking tins in there. Of course, I love baking, so I have a huge amount of baking tins, and the rest is in my storage. We have just moved into this house. This is the fridge and the freezer that are far too small for what I need. Therefore, we will buy a small fridge freezer. There you go. I wanted to show you something that is very handy and I forgot to show you this morning. A lot of you will know, others won't. Is these little stools. You can easily store them because they fold. So, as you see, it folds easily and you can put it everywhere, in a cupboard or anywhere. Hello! Here I am again with a new recipe for you, and as I said, my tripod has this very handy piece of equipment which connects with the mobile phone, and I can function from a distance without having to go to the mobile phone, at least I hope so. This is a tripod and selfie stick from Vava. You can find it on Amazon and probably on other sites, and I'm testing it for us. So I'm going to make a new recipe. This is my second time making cookery videos, so please bear with me because I'm not good at this yet. This time is going to be black rice pudding. It is an Italian recipe from this marvelous book. I have a huge collection of cookbooks, and it's also called risonero. I was going to say risotto, but it is risonero. Must be very popular in Italy. I have never heard of it, but I am hungry, so let's get started. So, to start with, I have on the stove a saucepan and a frying pan. The frying pan will be used to roast my almonds. You can roast them in the oven, but I find it a lot easier to do it in the frying pan. There you go. And you need to be very careful not to let them burn. It is a pity, but we don't have the lights above the cooker hood working yet, the spots. So you get a lot of shadows, but at least you get an idea. So you leave the almonds there until they are roasted. And here are the ingredients we are going to use according to the recipe, and you can see it here. 600 ml of full fat milk. Always use full fat milk. It's not only a lot healthier, but it's a lot tastier for your recipes as well. 75 grams of Italian rice. Well, you can use any pudding rice whatsoever. 100 grams of sugar. You see that I have noted 8 because I always use less sugar than the recipes state. There is no need whatsoever to use so much sugar. So my almonds are roasting nicely away. So I always note down, because afterwards, if I still find that it is too sweet, I can note the amount of sugar I think I should have used less than 100 grams of almonds. I don't really have 100 grams, but it doesn't matter. I want to use a pinch of salt because I use salted butter. I don't see the need of using unsalted butter and adding salt. 1 stick of cinnamon, 150 ml of black coffee, which I've made already, 40 grams of plain dark chocolate, grated rind of 1 unwaxed organic orange, well, organic or unorganic or whatever. I mean, we live in a world full of pesticides, so I don't think it makes a huge difference, and I don't know many supermarkets where they sell organic oranges. So what I do something slightly different. When I eat well, I don't eat lemons, but when I use lemons or oranges or grapefruits, I put them in the sun to dry, or if there is no sun, because of course we are in Wales, so often the sun doesn't shine. I dry them in a very low oven, and then I have citrus rind to use, which for my recipes, sorry, I forgot to open my jar, but then how do you say, sorry, my English is not the best English in the world, as you see. I am a foreigner. I'm actually Portuguese, lived in Holland for a very long time. So English is actually my third language. My second language was French. The fourth was Dutch. Then I speak a bit of German, Spanish and Italian, as Italian and Spanish are very similar to Portuguese. So there you go. I speak a lot of languages and none of them properly, but that is not a problem. So I have pulverized my rind. It's not very fine, but it doesn't really matter. It smells absolutely amazing, and I use it in all my dishes, and I'll be using it today in this rice as well, instead of always buying oranges and lemons and whatever. Then I wanted to show you this state-of-the-art thing where Sir Colin keeps his coffee. I don't drink coffee, but it looks like the tail lens of a photo camera. It's very cute. I have already made the coffee, and you have the milk, the pudding rice, brown sugar. Every time I can, I use dark sugar instead of white. Only for desserts that really should be white, like vanilla ice cream, do I use white sugar, because brown sugar is much tastier. Here you have dark chocolate, which I brought from Portugal, and courtesy of my lovely cousin Maria Luisa, who is a great baker. You have double cream. You could use single cream as well. Here you have the butter already measured. I wanted to show you my scales. Here in Europe we don't really use cups, we use scales, and it's a lot more accurate, and you can put any of your dishes on the scale. You turn them on, it goes to 0, then whatever you add, you don't need to measure again. So if I would now add 100 grams of sugar, it would go from 0 to 100. The recipient is already measured. If you get to 100 and you want to add something else, you just press here and it goes to 0 again. So it works very well, it's very accurate, so that you always know if you want to repeat a recipe again, which I usually don't do, but if you want to repeat it again, you'll get the same results. So there you have the cinnamon as well, but of course all of you know what cinnamon looks like, cinnamon sticks. So now we are going to start then preparing our recipe. So there we go again. We are going now to start preparing our recipe. We have to put the almonds in a saucepan. There we go. Then the cinnamon stick, I'm going to break it into 2. The sugar, okay, the rice as well, never mind. But so the sugar, the milk, 600 mils of milk, the rice, so there we go, the rice, the coffee, put in all the coffee, milk, rice, sugar, almonds, cinnamon and coffee, and we have to let it simmer for 1 hour. Meaning I'll come later on. And this is a very, very easy recipe. In fact, it's just a rice pudding, or riz au lait, as the French say, but with chocolate and coffee, and at the end we'll put it in this lovely pudding basin. I'm not sure that it will all fit in, but these pudding basins, you can now buy them everywhere with different shapes and different colors, and when you turn it around and you take this lid off, the pudding just slides out, so it is lovely. If it doesn't all fit in, it doesn't matter, because I'll put whatever is left over in a recipient, then you can close the tin and put it in the fridge. I also wanted to show you these wonderful clips. They come in different shapes and colors, and when you open a package, which I do a lot because I'm always using different ingredients, you just clip them and they are perfectly sealed. You can keep them in the freezer as well if you need to, and then your spices, your herbs, your ingredients last for a very long time. So that is great as well. I suppose a lot of you know that, but some of you while starting out probably don't. So we'll leave the rice cooking for 1 hour. Then we'll add the butter, the cream, the orange and the chocolate, and it will be ready to go to the fridge, and that's it. Then we wait for a while, so we let it cool off before it goes into the fridge, and then we can eat it. That's the best part, although I love cooking as well. So you'll notice that I'm always wearing an apron, and I'll probably buy some very posh ones. Why? Because I don't like being in the kitchen and making my clothes all dirty. I find that's not a very good idea. So I'm always wear an apron. If I come to do some washing up, we have a dishwasher now, so there is not a lot of washing up to do, but whether I do washing up or whether I am cooking, I feel a lot more comfortable wearing an apron. And of course now I am on YouTube, but I'm posh anyway, so even if I use an apron, I don't think anybody will think that I'm not posh, so that is no problem. It's a pity I can't make these videos in several languages, as I have friends all over the world, especially in Japan, in Portugal, the United States, of course here in the United Kingdom, a lot of friends in Russia, Indonesia, Greece as well, and a bit everywhere, but of course it's not possible to make the videos in several languages, so they all have to be in English, and I hope you understand, at least by seeing the ingredients and seeing what I am doing, that you understand what I am preparing. And that's it. See you in a little while. Bye! There you go. So I'm back to show you how the cooking of the rice is going. We are a bit more than halfway, so it should have cooked, or it will cook for more or less 1 hour, although I don't even think it needs 1 hour, but it's 24 minutes to go. Having such a timer is very easy. There are all kinds of timers being sold, even timers where you can set 4 different times if you like that. And I think that's very handy, because sometimes I'm cooking something in the oven, I'm cooking something on the stove. I don't buy another one now because this one is working, but when it breaks, I'll surely buy one with the option to set multiple times instead of just one. So here you go, you see the almonds, you see the rice. I have decided to add a bit of my dried orange rice rind, sorry, rice rind, and I'll add the pulverized one at the end, but I thought it would probably be very good to add 2 dried orange rinds. There you go. And because I don't do what I preach, which I should, but I don't, I hadn't read the recipe until the end, and I hadn't seen that actually the 15 grams of butter were meant to grease the pudding tin. As I have a plastic one, I don't need any butter. Well, what I'll do is I will rinse it with water just in case, to make sure the pudding comes out perfectly. And I added the butter to the rice. As a rule in Portugal, the rice pudding, arroz doce as we call it, it always has some butter, and I think it gives a very good flavor. Moreover, another mistake I made is that the cream was supposed to be how do you say, when I speak so many languages I just get confused with all the languages. It should have been whipped and then covered to cover the pudding after it comes out of the fridge. What I have decided is to put it back in the fridge for my lasagna tomorrow, and I'll be using whipped cream from a tin, which is a lot easier. The whipped cream under pressure, I'll show you later. It's a lot easier with each slice. I'll add a nice bit of whipped cream from the tin. See you later! So here I am back again to finish our pudding, at least finish cooking, and then we can put it in the fridge. Here it is a lot thicker. I have already taken out the cinnamon sticks and the citrus rind. I have no idea whether it is grapefruit or can't see you. Whether it is grapefruit or lemon or orange, but it doesn't matter. There we go again. I'll add a little bit of my powdered citrus peel, which I think is mainly orange. Ah, it smells really good. So I'll close the jar to keep it lovely for a very long time. Now I'm going to add the chocolate. There you go, my Portuguese chocolate. Lovely Portuguese chocolate, which was advised to me by my lovely cousin Maria Luisa, who lives in Braga, in the north of Portugal. We spent Christmas with her and the rest of the family. And it was the first Christmas that I remember spending in Portugal for many decades. I didn't even remember anymore when it was the last Christmas that I spent in Portugal. So there you go, it's all well mixed with the chocolate the citrus rind. I won't swear that it is orange because by now I don't know. I just save all the peels of the citruses that I use. And now I'm going to use this pudding tin. Well, it's not a tin, a mold, pudding mold. As always, forgive my English. Usually people say forgive my French. Well, my French is actually quite good, so forgive my English. And because I keep speaking English and French and Dutch and Portuguese, and then often I kind of start forgetting words in all the languages, which is very annoying, but there you go. At least I can communicate more or less in all these languages, and when I don't manage, I just use my hand and my lovely feet. I can't show you my feet now, but never mind. So here you go. If you hit with it on the work surface, it doesn't, you make sure that there aren't any bubbles left in the mold. Now I'll leave it here to cool off. I'll put it in the fridge overnight, and I'll show you tomorrow when I unmold it. Hopefully I'll be able to unmold it easily. As I said before, I never make the same recipe twice, or as a rule I don't, so I have no idea what's going to taste like, but you'll taste it with me and we'll see, and hopefully next time I'll have all the spots reinstated and my videos will look a lot nicer. Take care, have a lovely evening. Bye, see you again tomorrow. Bye. Here we are again, and let's now finish our black rice pudding riso nero. It's an Italian specialty. I am going to open the pudding mold, and I hope that the pudding will come out easily. It has been in the fridge all night, so I've turned it onto this beautiful glass plate, of course also bought in a charity shop. There we go. Then I open the down lid, and as it is not coming out so easily as I had hoped, so let's ease it out a little bit and hope for the best. No, it's not coming out yet. Well, as a rule, these puddings come out very easily. If it doesn't come out, what I'll have to do is put it in a little bit of boiling water. Of course, close the base again. There you go, let's hope. As a rule, they just flap out. Which this one doesn't feel like doing. Oh, it has flopped out, but I think that it is all... Oh, it's quite broken. But don't you worry. I'll cover it with a bit of whipped cream. I whipped cream with no sugar, as the pudding is already sweet. So I'll just cover it up. So it was not meant to break, but there you go. In the kitchen you sometimes need to find solutions for what goes wrong. And anyway, it's going to look beautiful, I am sure of that, because I am going to give it a bit of a treatment. There you go. Make some waves. Then I'm going to show you how to fill. I've got pastry bag with a star nozzle, and I'm going to fill it. The easiest way is to put it over the glass or any other recipient, like in this case, and then you just fill it easily. There we go. A little bit more. So, oops. So now I'm going to make some patterns on the top of the pudding. And then I'm going to decorate it with candy, citrus parts. Well, so the pudding was not a terrible success. Decorating the black rice pudding, and although it broke a bit when I got it out of the mold, I just changed my idea for decoration. And there you go. Tell me whether it's not beautiful and very tasty.
So here I am trying this lovely pudding, or at least I hope it will be lovely. I wish you could all be here, but as that is not possible, I'll be crying my eyes out. And I'll be eating this lovely pudding. At least I hope it's lovely. There you go. Really good. Cheers. By the way, this is tea. This really is tea. Cheers. Bye.